Cryptocurrencies are digital form of money that is not issued by a bank. You can trade and invest these currencies like any other, and there are virtually no barriers to entry. The market of cryptocurrencies is going up at an incredible speed, the reason being absence of regulation. In this video you are going to learn all about cryptocurrencies and related complex terms like blockchain, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more. In ancient times, people did not buy or sell with money. Instead they traded one thing for another to get what they wanted or needed. This exchange of goods or services is called barter. With the evolution of societies, many cultures around the world eventually developed the use of money whose value was based on the value of the material from which it was made. The first coins were originally manufactured from copper and then iron because these were strong materials used to make weapons. In the 1690s, the Massachusetts Bay Colony printed paper money, and here the use became more common. The convenience of transactions provided by the issuance of banknotes allowed notes used for exchange to become a widespread and commonly accepted business practice. After World War II, most countries adopted fiat money, whose value was determined according to the US dollar. In turn, the US dollar was determined by reference to gold. In 1971, the US government ended the convertibility of the dollar into gold, leading many countries to follow its example, and the majority of the money worldwide stopped being backed by gold reserves. The fiat money, dollars, euros, pounds, etc., is issued by a government. It is centralized and is controlled by law and banks. Its value is determined by the market and regulation. In the 2000s, bankers planned to increase their earnings. To execute this plan, they gave mortgages to people who couldn't pay them back. The packages of those mortgages were then sold as securities to investors and other banks. The plan executed successfully while property prices were rising, but by 2008, the housing bubble had burst, and the system of mortgages and securities collapsed, resulting in a global recession that made millions of people jobless. Banks started going bankrupt and the world's entire financial system was on the verge of collapse. Unfortunately, instead of addressing and dealing with the fraud and corruption in the world's financial institutions that brought about this disaster, central banks instead chose to expand their balance sheets, otherwise known as money printing, to bail the banks out of their debt problems. There wasn't any actual physical money printed. It was simply numbers added to, and shuffled between databases. The banks were loaned this new money and used it to ride out the crisis, while ordinary people suffered from the economic fallout. With this inequality in mind, a man, or group of people, named Satoshi Nakamoto came up with a new idea to create a currency free from central bank meddling. A currency free from self-enriching manipulation. This idea led to the birth of the first and most famous of cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin. A cryptocurrency can be defined as a digital asset stored on a decentralized and cryptographically secure blockchain. Here are some common properties of cryptocurrencies. Their medium of exchange is digital. That is, they are not physical like fiat money. They are represented by one private and one public pieces of code. Their supply is limited, because each cryptocurrency has a set maximum. Cryptocurrencies are produced by computers. Cryptocurrencies are decentralized, and are not controlled by any government or entity. Their value is determined by supply and demand. In 2013, there were just 66 cryptocurrencies, and now in July 2021 this number has grown up to nearly 6,000. While many of these cryptos have little to no following or trading volume, some enjoy immense popularity among dedicated communities of backers and investors. Bitcoin continues to lead the pack of cryptocurrencies in terms of market capitalization, user base, and popularity. The growing popularity of Bitcoin has given rise to the creation of more cryptocurrencies, referred to as altcoins. That is, the currencies modeled after Bitcoin are collectively called altcoins. The first and the world's largest digital currency, Bitcoin, was inaugurated in January 2009. It follows the ideas set out in a white paper by the mysterious and pseudonymous Satoshi Nakamoto. It was created with a promise to lower the conventional transaction fees and to decentralize its operations. There is no physical Bitcoin, only balances are kept on a public ledger that everyone has transparent access to. Unlike fiat currency, Bitcoin is created, distributed, traded, and stored with the use of a decentralized ledger system, known as a blockchain. Ethereum, launched in 2015, is currently the second largest digital currency by market capitalization after Bitcoin. Being the next alternative to Bitcoin, Ethereum is a decentralized software platform that allows you to build and run decentralized applications, DApp, without any control, fraud, downtime, or interference from a third party. The decentralized suite of financial products created in Ethereum can be freely accessed by anyone in the world. A cryptocurrency coin is formed of information stored on a computer, which makes it digital. This digital information, which details the owner of every coin and the transactions they have made, is stored in a special kind of database called a blockchain. When you buy a cryptocurrency coin, your account on the blockchain, commonly referred to as the wallet, will show a transfer into it, and will update your balance accordingly. Your bank might go offline because a freak storm cuts power to its data center, or a hacker shuts down its systems. A blockchain is stored on thousands of computers across the world, all connected by the internet, making it extremely resistant to failure. This setup is called decentralization. Apparently a database spread across the world like this looks very insecure. What if a hacker breaks into the system and gives himself a zillion coins? That's where cryptography comes into play. Cryptography means disguising and revealing, encrypting and decrypting, information using complex mathematics. Cryptography makes it virtually impossible for the information entered onto a blockchain to be falsified and eventually makes the decentralized database very much secure. In this introductory video, you got some basic knowledge about cryptocurrencies and related terms. The upcoming videos in this series will provide in-depth information about each one of these terms, so stay tuned and subscribe to Tech Mining to get notifications of those videos. Thank you for watching.